Happy New Year, folks. It's Donal Ward-McCarthy here with 311 Realty Group. So yeah, I want to give you an update for kind of what happened in the GTA real estate prices for 2021 on December, and give you a bit of a projection of what I foresee for 2022 in terms of real estate. So let's dig in. Below me, you have access to these charts that we're going to discuss in the comments. Link, you'll be able to download those, or if you're in the email, we also have a download section. So let's jump in really quickly. So December, year over year, we saw price growth increase by 24%. We saw quite a dip year over year in supply and demand. But I'd like to, as I always do, let's look at what things looked like from a month-to-month perspective. So looking back here in terms of demand, here's what happened in 20, the orange bars. Is what happened in 2021. So we saw demand increase phenomenally there into March and then dropped off because we started to get vaccinated. People started enjoying their summers, etc., etc. So a bit of an increase back again in the fall and has dropped down quite a bit for both demand and supply. So you can see similar curves here for supply. Way up in March, and the demand met that very strongly. And then we dropped off in summer, up again a bit, and down, down, down. In December. We'll see what that drop actually was. Let's look at those figures. So you can see here demand from November to December was down 33%. Supply was down 48%. Prices pretty much held their own. And we'll go back and look at that chart to see. And the average days on market were up 6%, which we expect at this time of the year, or expect in December and January. Let's go back to the chart. So here's what prices did in 2021. You can see here, we ramped up in March into May, and then we kind of evened off a bit in the summer months. We typically see a bit of a dip and then up again in the fall, and it's pretty much held its own in terms of pricing. Normally we see prices drop a bit in the wintertime, but because our supply is even down greater than our demand, we saw the prices pretty much even keel out there. So the question is, based on this data, where do we see 2022 going? Well, my projection is that we're going to see much the same as we did last year, maybe not a huge spike like this in demand and supply. Could be wrong in that regard, but we'll see. But what I see happening this year is, again, supply remaining super tight. Demand is going to, I feel, increase, and the supply will not increase, because we will see a supply increase for sure. We see it every springtime. We see it every fall time. But I feel the demand is still going to outstrip again. So I see prices are probably going to increase. Maybe not to the same degree that we saw this year. Like what I spoke of there, we had like 20+% growth there coming out of September year over year from 2020 to 2021. Maybe not as strong as that. We're going to see interest rates increasing, which of course, will limit some people's affordability, not greatly, I think, in the GTA market. We still have record low interest rates, so if it increases, even a full point, 100 basis points in the next year, I don't see it greatly affecting our market. It will affect some, of course, maybe more so in some of the secondary national markets. So I see, again, a price growth happening this year. And of course, again, in an inflationary period, what happens, hard assets like real estate, refer to just real estate, there are other hard assets out there, but real estate is definitely a hard asset that's impacted positively from an inflationary period. So if you're looking to hang on to your asset, that's great news. If you're thinking of selling, that's great news too, because your asset's going to maintain its value. Okay, even at this point. So I don't see any big shakeup happening where we're going to see, the market fall dramatically or drastically. So there you have it, folks. Again, these charts are down below here. We're looking at absorption rates. Too early to tell in January as to what's going to happen, but we will be watching the weeks of inventory for condos and houses. I'll be updating you next month when we have a bit more data on our absorption rates. Listen, thanks so much, folks. Do reach out to us if you need any assistance at all. If you're thinking of selling or buying or just want an update on value in your home, we're here for you. Okay, thank you so much, folks. You take care. Bye-bye.